What's up to all those alone in the zone? It's the boss that crosshatch, John Eli Lopez, back once again on a mission to get you one step closer to being the king or the queen of the pencil. And today, I'll be showing you how to render realistic looking fruits only using markers and color pencils. If you'd like to follow along, all you would need is some markers, color pencils, paper, and a good reference photo or object. Okay, let's get started. And what I'm using is a reference photo. And remember, you want to use a real photo. You do not want to use a painting or a drawing that someone else did. You want to create your own. That way you build your style. So I didn't have a bowl with fruit, so I found a nice photograph of one. And you want to make sure it's clear and showing as much detail as possible. So once I had the overall shape of the bowl, we're starting to lay out those fruits. And some people would look at fruits and just think, oh, that's something very simple to do. It is definitely a challenge, and the more the merrier. And the grapes definitely are the most challenging part of the whole my whole layout here is doing the bunch of grapes. And when you're doing that, you want to make sure you get the most important ones done right. The background ones still have to form some realism. So there we go. I did that apple now. I got that red in there. We getting the nice green of the pear. And it's an orange back there. And my main idea of this was to use the markers for the base tone of all the fruits. And for the shadows and highlights, I wanted to incorporate markers. I mean color pencils, sorry. And the reason I go through these type of steps is just to show you can use regular material you might have around to test your skills out. Because there are blending markers and other things you can do to, such as paint, to get your shadows and highlights in. But we are working with more tangible material that you could get your hands on and challenge yourself. So that is really what I try to come in. And with these latest videos, at some point, I will move on to paint and those type of things, but I just want to show you guys what it is to get your basics, what it takes to get your basic skills up, and to be the king and the queen of the pencil, right? So that underdrawing and how you build it up from there is crucial. So as you see, the drawing I didn't want to cover up all the lines, especially with the bunch of grapes that I did. So I'm making sure and leaving that line area separate, getting the little stems in there that I had, because I'm going to come back in with shadowing. And I'm coming on top of the red of the grapes with its complementary color, which is green. And when we get into painting, I'm going to touch more on complementary colors. But when you're viewing the color wheel, complementary colors are used to add to complement the other color, but you can also use them to add shadow effects. Right, so that's what I did there with the red. But my plan is to do that with all the colors here. It's come with its complementary colors on top. And that's going to add to the realism of the look I'm trying to get. And my plan is to come lightly with some black at the end and just bring them all together. So once I had the basic layout of the fruits, and I left the highlight areas because the photograph I used, the light is reflecting off some of the fruits, brighter than other parts. So I wanted to make sure and leave some of those in there. And of course, the main challenge would be to blend out those highlighted areas. Okay, make sure I get the nice evenish tone on that bowl. And leave out some reflected areas. And stuff like this, like I'm adding the design that I saw on the bottom of the bowl here. And kind of added like own little twist to it, but I tried to follow it as best as I could, but that is not the main focal point. So as long as you get the gist of it, you should be all right. Those type of things don't have to be perfect, but they should still be proportioned out well, and in the proper perspective and proportions. And before I add like the shadow on the fruits, I just want to make sure I get the table that the fruit bowl is on and the background going. Because then I'm going to come with the shadowing and incorporate the black throughout the entire piece. So it all looks uniformed and, put together. Because when you're using different colors and things like that, especially when you're not painting it, things can look like they're in separate spaces. So you definitely want to try to have a tone that travels throughout the entire piece. And that's just going to make everything look like they're living in the same universe and not separated pieces. And my tone for this one is the black. And that's basically just tying everything together. And once I'm covering up the lines that I had separated for the bunch of grapes, that instantly is adding depth, and it's just, bringing them to life. This was something I really had no idea exactly how it would come out. Added a little green on that apple there, and that adds to that, effect, like it's just coming out of, it's just ripening, transitioning from green to red. And it's little features like that that just adds to the overall look that you're going for. Let's get the shadow of the bowl. Don't want to forget that. The shadow that the bowl's casting there. Just tightening up that outline there a bit. And it's good to step back, view your work, see what's sticking out, what's not, go back, getting the highlighted areas in there. even though I left some parts of like the grapes white, I'm still coming with the white color pencil to add the fade. That's going to be the transition from the bright highlight faded into whatever color we are working with. As you see, I'm just coming here now with different tones and getting on top of that highlighted areas. Now I'm trying to dull it down and make it seem like it's all part of the same fruit. The highlights were just sticking out a little much to me, so I just wanted to tone them down a bit. So now, as they say, everything else is left. The tips of the bananas there, some green shadowing. And you step back, look what needs touching up. The lines of that banana and the shadow behind it. Excuse me, I said the line of the banana. You want to stay away from lines and try to get that area to fade out. And there you have it, folks. We are done. Very nice. Hope you guys got some value from this video. If you did, take a bite out of that subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment. Any feedback will be appreciated. So until next time, John Eli Lopez signing out. Y'all be good and be safe.